Let me ask you something. How many cans of WD-40 have you gone through in your lifetime? 10? 20? Maybe more? And here is the uncomfortable truth. You have probably been using it wrong the entire time. I know. You spray it on everything. Squeaky door, rusty bolt, sticky lock, that annoying noise coming from somewhere under the hood. WD-40 fixes everything, right? Wrong. And this mistake is costing you real money. We are talking hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars in repairs that could have been avoided. Because that iconic blue and yellow can sitting in your garage right now? It is destroying parts of your car without you even realizing it. Stick around because today, I am going to show you exactly which WD-40 products you should be using, which ones are secretly damaging your vehicle, and the simple switches that can save you a small fortune. This is information mechanics rarely share with their customers, and by the end of this video, you will know more about automotive lubrication than 90% of car owners out there. Let us start with a shocking fact. WD-40 is not actually a lubricant. I will say that again because most people never learn this. WD-40 multi-use product is primarily a water displacement formula. The WD literally stands for water displacement, and the 40 represents the 40th attempt it took the original inventors to perfect the formula back in 1953. It was designed for the aerospace industry to protect missile parts from rust and corrosion. Nobody intended it to be a long-term lubricant for automotive applications. Does it lubricate? Technically, yes, for a few hours. But then it evaporates and leaves your parts worse than before. Here is what happens when you spray regular WD-40 on your car door hinges. The squeak goes away immediately. You feel like a genius. But within a few weeks, the squeak comes back even louder. Why? Because the light oil in WD-40 attracts dust and dirt. It gums up over time. And since the product evaporated, you now have more friction than when you started. That is frustrating but not expensive. The real damage happens when people spray regular WD-40 on rubber and plastic components. And this is where the thousands of dollars in repairs come into play. See, regular WD-40 contains petroleum-based solvents. These solvents are fantastic at cutting through grime and displacing water, but they are absolute poison for rubber components. The petroleum slowly extracts the oils from rubber, causing it to dry out, become brittle, and eventually crack. Think about all the rubber parts in your car: door seals, window seals, wiper blades, suspension bushings, engine mounts, CV boot covers, O-rings throughout the engine, vacuum hoses. The list goes on and on. I have seen door seals completely deteriorate in cars where owners sprayed WD-40 regularly. New door weather stripping can cost anywhere from $200 to $800 depending on your vehicle. Professional installation adds another $200 to $400 on top of that, all because someone wanted to stop a little squeaking noise. And here is something even more concerning. When your door seals fail, water gets inside your vehicle. That water can damage carpets, create mold, corrode electrical components under the seats, and even rust out your floor panels from the inside. A damaged door seal is not just an annoyance. It is the beginning of a cascade of expensive problems. I actually met someone at a car show who was selling his classic Camaro at a steep discount. Beautiful car, but the floorboards had rusted through. When I asked what happened, he admitted he used to spray WD-40 on his door seals every week because he loved how it made them look shiny. The seals eventually cracked. Water got in for years without him noticing, and by the time he discovered the rust, the damage was irreversible. But wait, it gets worse. Some people spray regular WD-40 on their serpentine belts when they hear squeaking. Please never do this. The belt needs friction to grip the pulleys and drive your alternator, power steering, water pump, and air conditioning compressor. Spray WD-40 on it, and suddenly the belt is slipping. Your battery might not charge properly. Your power steering gets stiff. Your engine could overheat. A new serpentine belt costs maybe $40 to $80. The The repairs caused by a damaged belt slipping for weeks? That alternator replacement runs $400 to $800? A failed water pump leading to engine overheating? You are looking at anywhere from $500 to a complete engine replacement. So if regular WD-40 is this problematic, why does the company keep selling it? Well, here is what WD-40 does not advertise very loudly. They actually make an entire lineup of specialized products designed for specific applications. And some of these products are genuinely excellent for automotive use. But most people never discover them because that original blue and yellow can is so iconic. Let me walk you through the WD-40 Specialist line and show you exactly when to use each product. This knowledge alone could save your vehicle from premature wear. First up, WD-40 Specialist Silicone Lubricant. This is perhaps the most important product in the entire lineup for car owners. Unlike regular WD-40, silicone spray is specifically formulated to be safe on rubber, plastic, vinyl, and metal. It creates a protective layer that repels water and prevents materials from drying out or cracking. Use this on your door weather stripping, your window seals, your sunroof tracks, plastic hinges on your center console or glove box, any rubber component that needs protection or lubrication. The silicone spray works across a massive temperature range, from -73 degrees Celsius all the way up to 260 degrees. It dries fast, leaves no sticky residue, and will not attract dust. When should you use silicone spray versus regular WD-40? Simple rule. If the surface is rubber, plastic, or vinyl, use silicone. If you need to displace water or cut through rust, use regular WD-40 only on metal surfaces. The price difference is minimal, about $8 to $10 for an 11-ounce can of silicone spray. But the protection difference is enormous. I treat my door seals with silicone spray twice a year, and after 12 years they still look and feel like new. My neighbor uses regular WD-40 and has already replaced his door seals twice. Next, let us talk about WD-40 Specialist White Lithium Grease. This is what you should be using on door hinges, trunk hinges, hood latches, and any metal-to-metal contact point that needs long-lasting lubrication. White lithium grease sprays on as a liquid but sets up as a thick, protective coating. It will not drip, run, or wash away in the rain. It handles temperatures from -18 to 149 degrees Celsius. And most importantly, it actually lubricates instead of just temporarily masking the problem. I spray my door hinges with white lithium grease once a year. No squeaks, no grinding, no premature wear on the hinge pins. Compare that to people using regular WD-40 every few months and still dealing with noise. Now here is something most people do not realize. While white lithium grease is excellent for metal hinges, it is still petroleum-based. So you need to be careful not to get overspray on rubber seals or plastic components near the hinges. The silicone spray I mentioned earlier is safer for hinges near rubber parts. Speaking of keeping things safe, I want to share something that could save you serious frustration. You know all those buttons on your dashboard and steering wheel? Most people have no idea what half of them do. There is actually a guide called Car Buttons that save you money, that explains every single button in modern vehicles, and how to use them to reduce wear, improve fuel economy, and avoid expensive mistakes. Worth checking out. Anyway, back to the WD-40 products. Third essential product, WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner. This is designed specifically for electrical connections, and it is a game-changer for anyone dealing with electrical gremlins in their vehicle. Modern cars have hundreds of electrical connectors, battery terminals, sensor plugs, fuse boxes, ground points. Over time, these connections develop corrosion, dirt buildup, and oxidation that can cause all sorts of strange problems. Check engine lights, intermittent failures, sensors giving wrong readings. Contact cleaner blasts away oil, dirt, flux residue, and corrosion without leaving any residue behind. It dries in seconds. It is safe on most plastics, rubber, and metal. And it can restore proper electrical contact that was previously causing problems. I have personally fixed check engine lights that would not go away by simply cleaning the connector at the mass airflow sensor. Shops wanted to charge $400 for a new sensor. 20 seconds with contact cleaner, and the problem disappeared. Here is another example. A friend of mine had a car that kept throwing random electrical codes. The shop told him he needed new sensors, a new battery, and possibly a new computer module. We are talking estimates over $2,000. I asked him to let me look at it first. I started with the basics, cleaned the battery terminals with contact cleaner. Then I went through the main ground points on the frame and engine. There was green corrosion everywhere. After cleaning everything and spraying each connector with contact cleaner, every single code disappeared. The car has been running perfectly for over a year now. The moral of that story? Before you replace any electrical component, make absolutely sure the connections are clean. A $10 can of contact cleaner should always be your first diagnostic step for electrical problems. One important warning though, do not spray contact cleaner directly on certain sensors like the mass airflow sensor element itself. It requires a specific MAF cleaner. But for connectors, battery terminals, fuse contacts, and ground points, contact cleaner is perfect. The fourth product in my garage is WD-40 Specialist Penetrant. Now this is actually designed to compete with products like PB Blaster for loosening rusted and seized parts. Regular WD-40 has some penetrating ability, but it is not specialized for the task. The Specialist Penetrant uses capillary action to creep into microscopic spaces between rust and metal threads. WD-40 claims it penetrates up to 50% faster than competitors. For working on older vehicles with rusted bolts, exhaust components, or suspension parts, having a dedicated penetrant makes a huge difference. Let the product soak for 15 to 30 minutes before attempting to break loose stubborn fasteners. Spray, wait, spray again, wait longer. Patience and proper penetrant save countless stripped bolts and broken studs. A snapped exhaust manifold bolt can easily turn into a $1,000 repair. Using the right penetrant and taking your time costs maybe $15 and an extra hour. That is a math problem even I can solve. The fifth and final must-have is WD-40 Specialist Dry Lubricant with PTFE. This one is unique because it goes on wet and dries to a thin, non-greasy film. It will not attract dust or dirt, making it perfect for mechanisms that need to stay clean. Use this on locks, on drawer slides in your center console, on seat rails, on window tracks that need smooth operation but cannot have any greasy residue. The dry lubricant also works well for applications where you might touch the surface and do not want oil transferring to your hands or clothes. Now let me address the confusion I see constantly in comments. People ask, why can I spray WD-40 on my tires but not on my rubber door seals? This is actually a good question with a nuanced answer. First, you probably should not be spraying regular WD-40 on your tire sidewalls either. While tires are made from a more petroleum-resistant rubber compound than door seals, regular WD-40 can still cause long-term degradation. If you want to make your tires look nice, use a dedicated tire dressing designed for that purpose. The bigger issue is overspray. When people spray their wheels or tires, WD-40 often gets on the brake rotors. This is extremely dangerous. WD-40 on brake rotors dramatically reduces braking effectiveness. Your stopping distance increases significantly. You might not notice the problem until you actually need to brake hard in an emergency. If you accidentally get any lubricant on your brake rotors, clean them immediately with brake cleaner. And honestly, avoid spraying anything near your brakes that is not brake-specific. Let me share a real scenario that illustrates why this matters. A viewer contacted me last year. His car had developed a pulsing sensation when braking, and sometimes the brakes felt like they were not grabbing properly. He had been spraying WD-40 on his wheels to keep them shiny and prevent brake dust from sticking. The overspray had contaminated his brake pads. Those pads had absorbed the petroleum product and lost their friction material effectiveness. He needed new brake pads and had to clean the rotors thoroughly. Total cost was about $350 at a shop, all because of a few casual sprays of the wrong product in the wrong place. Here is my system for keeping everything straight. I have labeled zones in my garage. Metal zone products include regular WD-40 multi-use and specialist penetrant. Rubber zone products include silicone spray only. Electrical zone is contact cleaner. And general lubrication gets white lithium grease or dry PTFE, depending on whether I need wet or dry lubrication. Before I spray anything, I think for 2 seconds about what material I am actually spraying on. Metal only? Regular WD-40 is fine. Rubber, plastic, or near rubber? Silicone spray. Electrical connection? Contact cleaner. Metal hinge that needs long-term lubrication? White lithium grease. Need it to stay dry and clean? PTFE dry lubricant. This simple mental checklist has saved me from countless mistakes. And I promise, after a few weeks of thinking this way, it becomes automatic. Now let me talk about the economics, because this is where the real savings add up. A can of each specialist product costs roughly $8 to $10. So for about $50, you can have the complete toolkit. Compare that to these potential repair costs from using the wrong products. Door weather stripping replacement, $200 to $800 parts, plus $200 to $400 labor. Serpentine belt and related damage, $400 to $2,000 depending on what fails. Brake pad replacement from contamination, $150 to $400. Sensor replacement that could have been fixed with contact cleaner, $200 to $600. Premature suspension bushing wear, $300 to $1,000 per corner. We are talking potential savings of thousands of dollars over the life of your vehicle, all from spending an extra $40 to have the right products on hand. But here is the thing most people miss. Even using the right products, you need to avoid common application mistakes. First mistake: overspraying. More is not better. A light, even coating, is all you need. Excessive product just attracts more dirt and creates mess. Second mistake: spraying in enclosed spaces without ventilation. These products have strong fumes. Work in well-ventilated areas or outside. Third mistake: not wiping up overspray immediately. Any lubricant that lands somewhere unintended should be cleaned up right away, especially near brakes or walking surfaces. Fourth mistake: using spray cans in extreme temperatures. Most aerosol products work best between 50 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold weather reduces pressure and spray quality. Extreme heat can cause cans to rupture. Fifth mistake: storing cans improperly. Keep them away from heat sources and direct sunlight. Store them upright. And check expiration dates. Yes, spray lubricants can degrade over time. Before I give you my final recommendations, let me share something that took me years to figure out. The best time to apply these products is not when something breaks or starts squeaking. The best time is preventively, before problems develop. I have a maintenance schedule that I follow religiously. Every spring, I treat all my door seals and rubber components with silicone spray. Every fall, I hit all the metal hinges and latches with white lithium grease before winter sets in. Twice a year, I clean my battery terminals and major electrical connectors with contact cleaner. This preventive approach means I almost never deal with squeaks, stiff components, or electrical gremlins. The few dollars spent on products and the hour or two spent applying them saves endless frustration and unexpected repair bills. Think about it this way. Would you rather spend 30 minutes on a Saturday lubricating your door hinges properly? Or spend $400 at a shop when the hinge pins wear out prematurely and the door starts sagging? I have also learned to keep small cans of these products in my vehicle. WD-40 makes travel-size versions that fit perfectly in your trunk emergency kit. When you encounter a stuck bolt on the roadside, or need to help someone with a frozen lock in winter, Having the right product immediately available makes you look like a hero. Let me wrap this up with my recommendations based on where you are in your car ownership journey. If you are just starting out and can only buy one specialist product, make it the silicone spray. The protection it provides for rubber and plastic components will prevent the most expensive damage. If you can buy two products, add the white lithium grease. Between silicone and lithium grease, you can handle 90% of automotive lubrication needs properly. Add contact cleaner as your third purchase if you ever work on electrical connections or deal with battery corrosion. The penetrant and dry lubricant are nice to have, but they serve more specific purposes that the average car owner might encounter less frequently. The bottom line is this: that single blue and yellow can of WD-40 multi-use product is not the universal solution its marketing suggests. It has legitimate uses, primarily displacing moisture and loosening rusted metal parts. But for protecting your car and avoiding costly repairs, you need to expand your toolkit. The specialists at WD-40 actually created fantastic products for specific applications. Most people just never discover them because they assume the original formula does everything. Now you know better. And knowing exactly which product to use in each situation puts you ahead of 90% of car owners, and probably ahead of some mechanics who grew up reaching for that same blue and yellow can for everything. Car repair costs increased 15% just in 2025 alone. The average repair shop visit now costs over $800. Anything you can do to prevent premature wear and avoid unnecessary repairs is money directly back in your pocket. Take the $50, buy the complete specialist lineup, and start using the right products on the right surfaces. Your car will thank you with years of additional trouble-free service. If this information was helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post videos every week about saving money on car maintenance and avoiding the expensive mistakes that mechanics see every single day. What lubrication questions do you have? Drop them in the comments below, and I will answer as many as I can. And if you have ever made a WD-40 mistake that cost you money, share your story so others can learn from it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.